Welcome in, football fans. You have reached Pay Dirt. I'm here with your host, Pay Saunders, and I am Brandon Herriott, a.k.a. B Dirt. How's it going, Pay?
Man, I can't call it, man. We're getting into the December football, the thick of it.
Hoodie weather.
Yeah, man. It's that real. It's that type of year you separate the men from the boys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, you see some of these teams now. You got to start looking at southern teams going north. You know, it starts getting a little sticky. I kind of tried to avoid a little bit last week. I talked myself out of playing that Dolphins play, even though they were playing the Commanders, just because that little split they've had home and away. But man, did they look good. Wish I would have done it, but still ended up 4-2 for the week. But my man, Pay was 7-1, bringing the Pay Dirt picks to 11-3 this week. Pretty good week again.
That's a group effort, man. So I feel like, I talked you into a couple of them. You didn't go head first into some of those Saturday picks. But I felt like those Saturday picks was pretty. I had a good feeling. I felt like these were strong. If
I would have let you talk me out of betting against Texas, I'd have had a much better week. You are correct with that. But hey, hit Michigan. I ended up getting on them late. I hit the under because it's Iowa. Hit the under because it's Pittsburgh Steelers. A lot of fun unders this week. But Vegas is starting to get privy to the information that we're riding unders out there. They're plummeting. They are plummeting. And I did hear on another podcast, I did not fact check this. Do with what you will with it. But I heard if you would have bet $100 on the Iowa under and let it ride all year, you'd be up about $23K right now. That's absurd.
That's coming from an Iowa fan, so I believe it.
That's absurd, dude. It's so absurd. They just have a hard time doing anything on offense. It's too bad.
I so hope that they don't improve their offense in the portal or in recruiting. I like this. I like this free money. I like it.
As a college football fan, it makes you wonder how good they could be if they got a good offensive coordinator and hit that portal, But yeah, as a gambler, I'm all about that under. Speaking of which, Thursday night football, we got the New England Hawkeyes versus the Pittsburgh Hawkeyes, over under 30. Steelers are favored by 6.
Excellent segue. Yeah, man, I am so frustrated that they put this game on Thursday. I know you like it for entertainment reasons. Me, I dislike it for petty reasons. I wanted to talk about last week's Steelers game a lot more. However, we got a job to do. Let's talk about this one. Pats. They've lost 3 straight games in which they haven't even given up 10 points, and they still lost.
Yeah, in 3 games they've given up 23 points, and they're 0-3.
That is
23 or 26. I remember.
And these are professional football players.
Yeah, that's true facts. Like, not all hoodies are good right now. The hoodie in New England, not hot, and it's just making that glaring record with or without Tom Brady look real bad. It's just getting worse by the week. I don't know, man. I earlier in the year, there was things, where would Belichick end up next season? Who wants him now? It's I don't know. I don't want to say he's lost touch, but I mean, he's a short-term coach. If you bring him on, he's approaching 70. You don't expect him to coach for another 10 years.
He's not over 70?
Is he early 70s?
If I thought him and Pete Carroll are about the same age. If Bill Belichick is not over 70, I'm gonna have to change
71.
Change 71. 71. Yeah. Still.
What's he coaching? 3 years?
Listen, there's my co-host on the Bear Club. He has Bill Belichick on his short list for coaching hires for next season. I said, bro, no. For the main reason being because of his age. He fires back at me. He says the Bears are always hiring coaches every 4 years anyway. Let's get Bill Belichick's last couple of years. Let's maybe win a little bit. Let's see how that feels. Let's ride it out. Whatever. You're right.
Just because you've spent a long time making the same mistakes doesn't mean you can keep making them.
Duly noted.
I do hate this game. Truth be told, the only reason why I do like it, and I said this backstage before we came on, I'm going to bed early Thursday night because no need to see the end of this one.
No. In fact, I don't want to watch it at all. I'm gonna lay some money on it, and then let me see what happens when I wake up. This is not going to be entertaining whatsoever. We both like that under, though, right?
Under 30, and we like it.
Yeah.
The Steelers without Kenny Pickett, he had surgery on a high ankle sprain. So you're looking at either your boy Mitch.
Oh, Mitch.
Or it's Christmas season. Are we bringing Rudolph in?
Oh man, it's a gift for me if Mitch gets to start.
It almost makes it worth that second round.
Yes,
draft, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. You're gonna pay what you owe. You're gonna pay what you owe one way or the other, Pittsburgh. Oh yeah. That under is looking mighty enticing. The Patriots cannot score to save their life. They keep starting Mac Jones for some reason. I think just to humiliate him because they're just going to pull him anyway. He's got to be leading the league ever, all time, in starts and no finishes. He's got to by this point.
Yeah, and dumbfounded move of the season so far as cutting people. Keep benching Mac Jones. You keep playing Bailey Zappi. He looks terrible. And then you put Mac Jones in. And then you have a third quarterback who you picked up from the Cowboys after he threw for over 300 yards in the final preseason game. And Will Greer out of West Virginia, who's been a good career backup, a good backup at Dallas and looked really good the part in preseason. And you cut him off your practice squad. For what? I mean, try to find lightning in the bottle, throw him out there. What's he going to do? Throw 2 picks? You already got that covered. Like, it's easy.
Yeah. I agree. The Mitch versus Mac game, I would be floored if this goes over 30 points combined. Pittsburgh has been struggling to score, even with their best players out there. Patriots are putting their best players out there, and they still can't say, Ramondre Stevenson, he's got a high ankle sprain.
Yes, sir.
So Ezekiel Elliott, starting running back.
And where's the motivation for him right now? Just to get another contract and get out of Dodge? I don't know.
Yep. Yeah.
I see this being a 13-10 game. Maybe a 13-6 game or a 16-3 or it's going to be an ugly game. The Steelers may score their only touchdown on defense too. That would not shock me.
We got to look up the props. What's the prop on TJ Watt scoring a touchdown this game?
That's a deep dig. I don't have time to look that up while we're on the show. But yeah, man, that's good stuff. I listen, to me, that's a play that you're going to play all year. You've identified something early in the season. That's a one unit bet for me all year. Blindly take the Steelers under, and at the end of the year, see how much you made. Not see if you made any money. See how much you made.
Yeah. But how do we feel about this line though? The Steelers are getting 6-point favorites. How do you feel about that?
Because I'm calling home.
Yeah, I'm calling BS.
So they're home. So that's 3 points for being at home. So they're 3-point favorite, neutral field. I think you're looking at a 6-point line instead of probably a 4 or 5-point line because of everyone's piling on the Patriots right now. So they're trying to skew some of that money on DraftKings. That's my guess. I wouldn't be surprised if you get that line at 5 or 4.5 around kickoff time.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. I would go ahead and jump on this Pats +6 now because I feel like that game's going to be a lot closer. 13-9 sounds fair for a final score.
When you're talking about both of us wanting to be under 30, both of us expect this game to be under 30 total points, doesn't give a lot of wiggle room for there to be a lopsided margin.
Exactly. Yeah. So you heard it from me. I got Pats +6 under 30.
And I've got the standard neither one of these teams can score unit bet on the under.
Like it.
All right. Now, here's my hot pick for this week. And when I say hot, I'm saying hot because I know that you're going to disagree with me here. And I'm sticking it out. I'm sticking my chest out here. I know that's normally your segment on the homies, but I'm doing it right here. Not only am I going to take the 7 on this, I'm going to put a little smidge on this money line at +275 because I like the way the Rams match up with the Ravens. I don't think the Rams are a better team. I want to make that clear. But they cause some matchup problems with Higbee, Pikachu, whatever his name is. I can't remember his name. The kid out of Utah. They're starting. Stafford's playing well. You're starting to see Cooper Kupp come around a little bit. Puka Nacua is who I was talking about. But no. Listen, they've used him more for decoys and for crucial third downs. Not having the gaudy stats because he doesn't need them right now. And they're showing a little bit of a running game. And on defense, I like the way they match up in the middle of the field right now. They're getting pass rush right up the middle. They've got a pretty decent run defense. I like the way they I would not be shocked at all if they actually beat the Ravens here. So I'm going to take the Rams +7 there. Now tell me why you disagree.
The only reason why I would be shocked if the Ravens were to lose this game to the Rams would be because the Ravens fumbled it away. The only way I see that possible. What the Rams did to the Browns is not conducive to what type of team they actually are. I do think Cooper Kupp is about done for this season. Maybe not done so far as his being in his prime, but he looks bad out there to me. He doesn't look like the Kupp that was setting records, that was always open. Nacua he's pretty much moved into that first read wide receiver.
Well, and also he's taken a lot of that route tree that Cooper Kupp used to run, and we've talked about that in the past. You brought it up with the McVay offense. That's a really good spot to be in, and they rotate that now and put Cooper Kupp out wide sometimes.
Yeah, but I have a hard time believing that the Rams, who's 1-2 against the AFC North, will go 500 against the division, and their 2 wins will be against the top 2 defenses in the league. I have a hard time believing that. They got lucky against the Browns because the Browns are on their 7th quarterback. They're playing the skeleton of Joe Flacco. They cannot do that back-to-back weeks. Not against a rested Ravens. Can't see it happening. Only way it's possible if the Ravens give it to them. The Ravens are prone to do that. Don't want to excuse that. The Ravens are prone to give you a win. They would be undefeated if they didn't give out wins.
And I do want to give a shout out to the youngster up for the Rams, Kobe Turner, defensive tackle. He is a bad man.
Very.
Playing right by Aaron Donald looks really good.
Very. This was one of my stay away games, just because.
I'll take it.
The seven was way too high for me for Baltimore, but I don't believe that they can't beat the Rams by a touchdown. They have the talent. You said they're more talented. They have the talent too, and they rested, but it's not enough. I can go either way. I can't put any money on this game. If it's anything, money line Baltimore, but I'm staying away from that line altogether.
Hey, listen, I'll take it. Normally, when I go in with this thought process, it's almost always you spit venom back at me about why I shouldn't do it. I do it anyway, and I lose. So I'm going to take it. Normally, if you stay off of it, I can ride and be okay.
I got you. All right, so here's another one. Here's another one of our favorites that we always get wrong, and I'm sure I'm about to get this one wrong right now. My squad, the Chicago Bears. They're getting 3.5 points at home in a rematch against the Detroit Lions. The weather is not supposed to be very cooperative in Chicago this Sunday. In fact, it's supposed to be bad. I think in all of the NFL cities, for most of them at least on the East Coast side, east of the Mississippi rather. The weather, if it does turn out to be kind of crappy, I think that makes it an even playing field between Chicago and Detroit. Detroit, they've been winning by the skin of their teeth the last couple of games against Chicago. I think 2 of the last 3 came down to the last possession, and Chicago literally fumbled it away. Justin Fields likes playing them. If you see a good-looking prop for Justin Fields rushing yards, I would probably take that against Detroit. But this 3.5 is what I'm focusing on. I like the Bears to lose by a field goal only, or maybe even outright win. I can't see Detroit going upside our heads like this at home. I don't see it.
I didn't know what to do with this one, and a lot of it because they're supposed to get rain. You know, that's another thing. Pittsburgh and Patriots supposed to be rain on Saturday and Sunday. That's another reason why I like the under. You got the Bears. The wind and the rain off of the lake, I don't think it bodes well for them. I do like your point about the running, because you talk about a spy or having that middle linebacker watching Justin Fields. Jack Campbell's been a great player, very physical linebacker, but he's that old school linebacker. He's that 255-pound thumper. He can't chase down Justin Fields. So that's an odd. I don't know how they're going to handle that situation. You know, they're going to have a big game out of Montgomery, I think, to win this game. And him and Sam Laporta are the ones that are going to have to carry the torch here. I don't mind it. It's right on that cusp for me. I'm in a no-fly zone on it, but I get why you would go Bears. So.
Let's have a sidebar real fast. We talked earlier about Iowa and their inability to score, and if they got it, it's some good players out of the transfer portal. If they hired a decent OC, they would be a lot different. You just talked about them, Jack Campbell, Laporta. They're from Iowa. These guys are ballers. In Iowa, they just can't score when they're in school, but it's like when they graduate, when they leave, they're free. They're free.
George Kittle, Noah Fant, like it's TJ Hawkinson. Like, where do you want me to stop? It seems like every great tight end it's not named Travis Kelce in the league came from Iowa.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Brock Purdy. He's a starter in Iowa. As soon as you get out of there, it's unleashed.
He was Iowa State, wasn't he? He was Iowa State.
Iowa State. I'm sorry. Yeah, my bad. Wrong Iowa.
So I alluded a little bit earlier that I stayed away from the Dolphins because on the road they've had bad splits. Well, guess what, guys? Back in Miami. You know how many points they're giving the Tennessee Titans?
I think it's like another touchdown. Two touchdowns.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Write the blank check, cover it. It's there. It's in the bank. The answer is -13, and I don't care. Make it -16. I don't care. 17, we'll have to talk. We'll have to talk at 17. But I think they're going to win this by 21 points. I'm taking the Dolphins over the Titans. I think they're out to prove something right now. And Hill looks electric. I don't see how the Titans are going to be able to slow that monster down.
That's the one of the two Monday Night Football games, right?
Correctamundo.
Yeah. I think they're going to have to go for style points. The Buffalo and Kansas City play on Sunday. Depending on what Buffalo does, Miami's going to have to go for style points. I agree with you. I like Miami all this season. When they've been double-digit favorites, they've more than likely come home because they can score 21 in one quarter. I mean, there's no defending Tyreek Hill. I like that. I'm going to ride that with you. Pause. 13-point spread. I'm all with that.
I will say this, though. The other Monday night game, not the same kind of shine. Listen, one of the other game I lost on last week was the Chiefs at the Packers. And I'm telling you right now, I watched that game. If they play it again today, I'm taking the Chiefs -6 again. Love should have changed his name to Luck. He threw 2 or 3 balls just up for grabs. The one, the lollipop.
If you're going to say Dobbs.
Yeah, the Dobbs. I mean,
oh, my goodness.
It looked like a balloon popped in the middle of the air and it just fell. And no, like there's 3 defenders that could have gotten to that ball. None of them looked. It was wild. I still think that if you play that game 10 times, the Chiefs cover that spread probably 8.
Yes. That was a weird game. I'm watching that game just like you, frustrated. Like, what are they doing out there? Are they on a take? Someone investigate the Chiefs right now because there's no way the Packers should be doing this to them right now. Christian Watson looked like Randy Moss.
He's looked better this year, but they made him look a lot better.
Them and the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving. He's getting real freaky out there. I don't like it. As a Bear fan, I don't like none of this.
No, you can't. You can't. What else you like out there this week?
This is a nasty weekend for NFL games. I'm gonna talk about this. The one game that's not gonna be interrupted by weather. Tampa Bay, Atlanta. Tampa Bay is a 3-point dog on the road, but that's not what I'm looking at it for. In fact, I'm sorry, it's a 1 point. They're a 1-point dog.
1-point dog, yeah.
Yeah, on the road. What I'm looking at is the total 39.5. I kind of like the over on this one.
Okay. Again, this is another one of those home and away splits. Ritter is a much better quarterback in that dome.
Yeah, he got me. As soon as I said that last week, when I took the +2 on the Jets, I was like, you know what? I started rethinking it because I was going against the Ritter visiting split. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna double down. This time I'm convinced about it. I like Atlanta. Well, Atlanta wins this game. They're only a 1-point fave. It's whatever. But it's a division game. I kind of think both teams are going to score. I kind of think 40-point total is achievable in this game. Something about it. I don't think either defense is that tough. Those offenses are streaky. It seems like Mike Evans just rolls out of bed and gets a touchdown.
Yeah.
F it. I'm gonna put a unit. Give me the over.
I dig it. Now, listen, normally we have a very easy place that we take commercial breaks Saturday to Sunday. We didn't get to go college to NFL this week. I missed college football already and need to get it back. But because of that, we're going to take a quick break to pay some bills. If you're listening to us on your favorite podcast, whether that be Spotify, Apple, Google Pod, wherever you get your podcasts, go ahead and like us, subscribe, share with a friend. We appreciate you. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Share this with a friend. We appreciate you. We will be right back. All right, and we are back here on Pay Dirt. Your host, Pay Saunders, and me, your host, B Dirt, Brandon Herriott. We've been through some of these games. I want to touch a little bit on some big games last week, right? That lead into some big games this week. Obviously, game of the week, 49ers rattle the Eagles after a poor start in the first quarter. I wish somebody would have predicted that Brock Purdy was the better quarterback, and that he would enter the MVP race. I wish somebody would have done that last Friday night. I don't know. Oh, listen, check out the Homies podcast while I'm thinking about it. Check out the Homies podcast on Friday nights here on Fans First Sports Network. We're on the Steel Curtain Network. And we got the Homies Overtime, where you can hear Big G apologize to me every week about another take he got wrong, I got right. So, he still owes me 15 minutes of corner time.
He's
betting half-hour clips right now. I don't know what is going on. He's going to end up doing a whole episode in the corner. I don't know. Like I don't know what I'm listening to sometimes. But they looked really good. The Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott, who I'm not a huge fan of, have looked fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And now this week, the Eagles go into Dallas and are 3.5-point dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, going into this stretch, I was looking at it and was like, ooh, I don't know. 49ers coming all the way across the country. Might be tough. You know, I didn't know how that was going to look. And I was looking ahead like I normally do a couple weeks. I'm like, I think the Cowboys are going to get them, though. Now that get them, and you know what I hate? You know what I hate the most? Damn hook.
Yeah.
3.5 points. Like, come on, man. They're trying to get people to bet the Eagles here after the Eagles looked terrible last week. They're not terrible. They're still a good football team. Over under 52. I can't find anything in the game of the week that I want to bet. Sunday Night Football, 8:20.
Nothing that you feel confident about.
Yeah. Like at this point, if I'm doing it, it's just because I'm going to watch the Sunday Night Football game and I want to do something with it.
Exactly.
That's a terrible way to bet.
I'm right there with you. This game was scary. I've been beating the drum for Dallas the last 2 months, maybe. I've been saying Dak's the MVP for the last ever since the last time they played Philly. And now they gave Dallas a 3.5 point. They made them the favorites by that much. Oh wow, that's scary. I mean, because Dallas is prone to blow up in these big games. Eagles haven't looked outstanding all season, so it's you can argue it either way. You know how Vegas lays lines in order to get equal action on both sides. And I can see this being equal action on both sides because that is wild. I am scared of that 3.5. If that hook is scaring me as well. If this was if this was 2.5 Dallas, I might be more inclined to take this. But right now, if I had to bet anything on this game, anything, it would be the total. That 52.5. I'm good with that. I would actually go under 52.5.
I don't like anything on this. Not one thing do I feel confident about. So This is a little bit, you get a little bit of look into my strategy for the week, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it's a Sunday night game like this, and I'm not confident in it, I'm never going to chase. So if I'm down going into Sunday night, so be it. Tough. Take your lumps. Go home. Don't cry about it. Watch a good football game. Lose a little money this week.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm up going into Sunday night, we're going to put a couple more ducats on it, see if we can parlay this into a little bit better week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I do hit a 3-teamer or 4-teamer and it pads me where I'm already going to be up for the week and I know it, then I'm going to put a unit or two on this Sunday night game just for fun. It's probably going to be one of those things where I see one of my friends on social media post something pro Cowboys or pro Eagles, and it upsets me, and then I'll bet against them. Something ridiculous like that. Only if I'm up. Only if I'm up and try to parlay it into a nice week. Other than that, I'm staying away from this game. That was on my no-fly list. The 49ers, 10.5-point favorites. A division opponent, even though they're home. I don't get down over 10-point spreads on division opponents hardly ever. I'm out on that one.
Agreed.
The Colts at Bengals. Bengals are favored by 1 because Jake Browning did his best Joe Burrow impression last week. Listen, man, I'm a Bengals fan. You know I love him. I watched that dude all preseason. He didn't throw one pass look like that. So
they were better covered in the preseason.
I'm not sure they were. It's facts. Doing my best Big G impressions here, but that was. I can't trust that yet. Even as a fan, I'm not trusting it yet. I won't let my heart love right now. I'm still hurt. Still hurt over losing Joe. So I can't let my heart fall in love with Jake just quite yet. So for that reason, I'm staying away from that too.
Yeah, there's a lot of stay away games I got too as well. Well, there's only 2 games that I'm staying away from explicitly.
There's a lot of games you don't want to watch.
But it's some other games that I just don't. The line is a little too tricky for me. But I am confident San Francisco money line. I am confident Cleveland money line. I would parlay those 2. I would probably take those 2 and throw it with the other something else that I've said just to make it worth, just to make the money worthwhile. But the Oakland being a 3-point dog at home, Buffalo 1.5-point dog. Neither one of those 2 games. I'm like, ugh. Both of them, I'm not too swayed by either one.
Here's what I'm looking at. Funny you said that, and no bones about it. I've looked for this when I see teams I feel like are fairly evenly matched up. I like betting quarterback versus quarterback. I've watched CJ Beathard. He came in for the Jags when Sunshine went down. It went 9 for 10 and looked really good. Had control of that offense.
Mm-hmm.
Jags are plus 3.5 at the Browns. The weather's going to be not so great. It's going to be a running game, which I think the reason why they did not beat the Bengals is because they only ran the ball with Travis Etienne like 10, 11 times.
11.
Make no sense to me. Feed him the ball. I think in bad weather, they feed him the ball more. I think he has over 100 yards. I think the Jags at least cover that plus 3.5. Love the hook there. Love the hook there.
Really?
And this is another one where it's over under 30.5. So they're already expecting that margin of victory's got to be small if it's going to be that low of a scoring game, and the weather's going to be pretty bad. The Jags maybe not be used to the cold, and it's only supposed to be in the 50s up here, but they're definitely used to the rain in Florida.
Yeah. I can't be that confident. I'm sorry. I saw the Jags, their offense. I've been watching them all season. I've been trying to fade them all season because I'm like, I don't like what T-Law's giving me. I don't like where Trevor Lawrence is leading me. I think he's skating. And to their credit, they've been winning. ETN was the best running back in the league for us for a while. Yes, you were saying it. Yes,
they win when I bet them. I don't know what it is. When I have bad feelings and stay away from them, they crap the bed. It's just that it's been an odd thing with I've been able to pick the matchups pretty well.
And then now they're going against number one defense. Number one defense, they got embarrassed last week. I think they come back right. They get it right. They're a little bit more focused. And they take some aggression on Jacksonville. Got to. I mean, there's enough tape out there on CJ Beathard. There's enough. They can go get him.
I watched this Browns team, and I think they're a good defense. I don't think they're unbeatable. They're top 3 defense, top 5 defense. I think they're somewhere 8 to 11. When I test, they've had some really bad weather games. They've had that first game with the Bengals, the home opener with the monsoon, and Joe Burrow had the least amount of passing yards of all time with like 86 or 87 yards total passing. Like they've had the stars have aligned to make them the number one statistical defense. I think there are better defenses in the league. That's where I'm going to leave it at. And I gotta be honest with you, going into this last week, I would have told you that Jags were top 10 defense. I don't know what happened. What had happened though? I don't know. It looked bad against the Bengals. I mean, the Bengals finally did run the ball. They got that 60-40 pass to run ratio that I've been clamoring for all season. They finally did it, and I think that helps. But I think they get right here. As far as their ratio of run to pass, I think there's some things that listen, the Browns may very well win this, but they might win it 13-10.
That's what I'm looking at. That's exactly how I see it. The Jacksonville Jaguars, their defense is good for highlights. They get sacks, they get turnovers, they get tackles behind the line of scrimmage, things like that. But as far as like just straight up, blanketing you saw it. You saw it this past Monday. T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. Who's the name? Who's your tight end?
Tanner Hudson. Remember
Tanner Hudson. They're all running booty naked, open out there, and Jacksonville just couldn't cover anybody for 3 seconds. It was that whole game. If the Browns have this 1 week to get more prepared get Joe Flacco more prepared, more brought up to speed, they can possibly put up 13 points. Like I said, their defense should be more focused. They should stop a backup quarterback when they see one. 13-10 is exactly where I want it. That's a sweet spot.
I do want to shout out to fantasy football defensive player Olo Khan, middle linebacker number 23 for the Jaguars. Tackling machine. Wraps them up. Love that dude. Unfortunately, it might have been my best pick of the season. It's all fun and games.
True.
Until Joe Burrow gets hurt when you're sitting on Jamar Chase. Oh, he did have a good game last week, though. I'll give him that.
All it takes, fantasy football, all it takes is a bomb. One bomb.
I have questions about this Vikings Raiders. What? Did I miss something? Are the Vikings good? Why are the Raiders a dog at home?
The Raiders aren't good either.
Neither one of these teams are good, but you would think this would be a pick 'em or a +1 or to me.
Listen, going into this is the problem with all these sports, all these leagues funneling teams into Vegas. No one has a home field advantage. This is just a destination city. The Raiders used to have one of the most fiercest home field advantages.
Very true.
on my NFC North show, as I recorded earlier than this one, found out 60%, close to 60% of the tickets sold for this game are to Viking fans. This is going to be a pseudo Viking home game. The Raiders, at some point, the glass slipper is going to break or turn back. It's going to go away. At some point, the pumpkin is going to turn back into a carriage. Or I said that wrong. The carriage turns back into a pumpkin. Right. It's been a while since I watched cartoons. I think the Pastronaut's been figured out. As you're right, this should be a pick'em game. I don't know why Vikings are 3-point faves. They should not be. They can't run the ball. They really can't pass the ball either. Justin Jefferson's coming back. Is that supposed to mean something to me? I don't know. Don't know. That's why I'm staying away from it.
I'll tell you what, that's a 4:00 game. That might have to see how I do on Sunday 1:00 games. I kind of want to do a unit bet on the Raiders. Mm-hmm. Nothing too big.
Mm-hmm. I hear that.
But the Bills Chiefs, I want to stay away from that. I mean, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde teams on both sides. The Broncos Chargers, I talked to you about this pregame, pre-show. I just have a feeling about the over hitting there. But it doesn't make any sense. The only reason why I'm saying it's going to hit the over is because I think the Broncos' great defense, the more I look at it, when they're not getting the turnovers, they're frauds. And the Chargers' great defense doesn't exist unless they play New England.
True.
So that's the only reason why, but I'm not confident in that one. That may hit a parlay.
Yeah, there's nothing else it's not much out here to be confident about. The Packers have been playing well lately. The Giants they've been playing better lately. They've got to 4 wins. DeVito is becoming a local star. The total in that game is 36.5.
The passing Paisan.
The Packers are 6.5-point favorites. Yeah, I don't think they're playing well enough to be 6.5-point favorites. I also don't think the Giants are bad enough to think the total will be underneath 36.5. I don't have any reason to believe it's going to go over 36.5. There's nothing about this game I truly like.
I agree with you. I'd rather take this money and go directly to the blackjack table. I know my odds there.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not going to keep searching for stuff I can't find. Slim pickings. We got like 9 games on here on the slate for right now. Maybe a 10th if I'm ahead going into Monday. That's where I see us at the moment. Again, this goes back to this. Look for value. Don't chase something that's not there. Don't make up a bet because you feel like you have to bet every game. Go look for where you think you can find winners. It's about winning. It doesn't matter if you win 3 or if you win. Listen, if you win 3 by going 4-1, or if you win 3 by going 10-7, you pay less juice on the 4 picks than you do on the 10. So you end up better off. Be smart with your money and find it.
Be smart. Don't be silly. That's what Eminem said, right?
Oh, he said a lot, man. I miss him. I miss him. We need a new album. All right. You got anything for closing comments or thoughts?
Don't get too invested in this Thursday night game. It's not going to be pretty. Just, if you're going to bet on it, put the money down and walk away. Don't watch this because it's going to make you cry.
I agree with you 1,000%. And If you're looking for something to get invested in the Fans First Sport Network. Check out the Homies podcast, as I mentioned earlier. Check out Running Through the Jungle. Check out the Bear Claw. Check out, come on, Chi-Town Bulletin Board.
There you go.
Yes, I finally got it. Oh, it only took me 4 weeks. Check out the Know It Alls podcast now has migrated over to the Fans First Sport Network. If you haven't checked them out, my boys Mod, Big G, and Tate, definitely worth a listen there. And you can always find me and the guys from Running Through the Jungle over there, trolling them in the live chat as well. So, but we do appreciate you listening. Share us with a friend. Don't be greedy.
Yes.
Other people need to win this money too. We're pretty hot right now, knock on wood. We've got about 3 straight weeks of being multiple games above 500 pretty easily. So we got 11-3. We've got a 12-3 in there. Like we're bringing some home. So let's go ahead and get these 9. Let's go 7-2 for these 9. That's where I'm at.
Yes. That's where I'm at as well. Let's do it.
All right. So for Pay Saunders and B Dirt, that's me. We will catch you next week when we hit Pay Dirt.
And we out.